From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Wildfires continue to burn in several parts of the state as firefighters try to protect life and property.
The Fairbanks North Star Borough issued a fireworks ban this afternoon due to dry conditions. The highest priority fire in the state right now is the Card Street fire on the Kenai Peninsula near Sterling. It was last reported at just over 2,500 acres. Last night, thunderstorms moved into that area and the wind changed direction, causing evacuation of a subdivision that was in its path. Now, so far, 11 structures have been lost to that fire, and aircraft have dumped 60 loads of retardant on it. More crews were en route to the fire.
We've imported a lot of crews from the lower 48. Fortunately for us, they didn't have that much activity, and they've been able to send resources our way. We figure right now we've probably got at least 2,000 people, fighting fires in Alaska, that's on the ground, in the air, and that number's likely to grow the way things are going.
The Air Force held a public meeting last night to talk about possible perfluorinated chemical contamination at Moose Creek. Ryan Grimes has that story.
These PFCs, the perfluorinated compounds, they're so new, and the science is still catching up, and the medical research is still catching up, that we don't know those things definitively.
The chemicals were first found on Eielson Air Force Base. Officials later found out that several traces of the compound were leaking off base and into Moose Creek water wells.
We know that there might be a problem. We know in some lab animals that are given extremely high doses, they've experienced some problems. We don't know the correlation to people yet. And so that's why EPA put out a provisional health advisory.
Some of the most outspoken members of the community were homeowners and landlords worried about declining property values because of the pollution.
I think we're kind of still waiting to find out exactly how affected any of us are. They're still testing the wells, trying to get a better idea of how polluted everybody is. According to the map in there, it looks like it runs in a particular area of Moose Creek and gets a little cleaner as you get closer to the highway, but that's only a very small testing, it looks like.
Perfluorinated chemicals are man-made compounds that have been used in products that resist fire, stains, and water, very persistent in the environment, and can travel long distances.
So far in Moose Creek, the highest level we found is about 2.1 parts per billion. And the provisional health advisory level is 0.2 parts per billion.
I kind of thought it was kind of blown up out of proportion, to be honest with you. Moose Creek water has been bad for a long time, so we're like, oh, they're going to test it finally and find something in it. After tonight, it sounds like a little bit more of a serious situation, that they really want to find out what is going on and where is it coming from.
The Air Force is providing drinking water to Moose Creek residents who had their wells tested positive for the chemical. The Air Force warned the community to not drink their well water if it is not well filtered.
We're testing their wells right now. It's for free. If your well is actually, the water in your well is contaminated, we're providing safe drinking water, usually bottled drinking water, 10 gallons twice a week for the residents of Moose Creek. If they feel like we've got a decent portion of the population covered tonight, or that they can help us get the word spread through word of mouth, then we'll probably wait to hold off on the next town hall meeting until we have some more firm, concrete data.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting from Moose Creek.
After 18 years in prison, one of the Fairbanks Four is returning to Interior Alaska on parole. Marvin Roberts was due to return to Fairbanks today. He and three others, Eugene Vent, Kevin Pease, and George Freeze, were convicted of the 1997 murder of Fairbanks teenager Jonathan Hartman. Roberts will be returning to the North Star Detention Center as part of his release, but family members say there is still a long road ahead as they continue to fight for exoneration with the Alaska Innocence Project. Evidence in the case alleges another man, Bill Holmes, confessed to the murder. Now, as the case slowly works its way through the justice system, the family of Marvin Roberts say they're happy to see him back home.
I just can't explain how I feel. I am so happy, happy, happy. He's not totally free, but at least he's closer to home to us where we could visit him.
And it's a conflicting thing. It's wonderful that he's coming home, and gosh, I'm just heartwarmed for Hazel and Sharon and Marvin and Art and Arthur that he's coming back. But you know, he leaves behind three other co-defendants, all innocent, so it's just kind of bittersweet.
All right, when we come back, the hot temperatures didn't keep the crowds away today at Pioneer Park as the public celebrated Fairbanks Day.
Also in our military report, this past weekend, Fort Wainwright opened their gates to the public to help recognize 3 Army celebrations. Those stories and more when we return.
Welcome back. A Ruby man is facing upgraded assault charges, accused of severely injuring one man and threatening a number of others. 28-year-old Ivan Vent appeared this afternoon in Fairbanks District Court. He is now charged with first-degree assault in addition to other charges in the case. Now, Vent is accused of beating another man so badly he will have to have reconstructive surgery on his face. Witnesses told Fairbanks-based troopers who responded that Vent threatened to, quote, get an AK-47 and kill them. After reportedly driving intoxicated in a short pursuit, Vent was arrested and is currently being held at Fairbanks Correctional Center without bail.
Fairbanks North Star Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins supports the Alaska Industrial Development and Export Authority's proposed purchase of Pintex Alaska, which was approved by ADA board last week. However, the mayor is not happy with the asset sale agreement among Pintex and its subsidiaries. These are key supply chain assets that are currently the sole source to provide natural gas to the interior. Pintex has directed its subsidiaries to sell those assets to Harvest Alaska, a subsidiary of Hillcorp, for $15 million. The entire deal needs Alaska Attorney General Craig Richards' signature. Hopkins sent a letter and a 26-page memorandum to Richards yesterday asking him to disapprove the asset sale, which Hopkins claims would allow Hillcorp to have an unregulated monopoly on the supply chain.
There's a single entity that operates everything from the gas in the ground to supplying gas to an LNG plant, making LNG, putting it into trucks and bringing it into our, what they call the city gate. I don't think that's right. And if the AG thinks it is right to allow that to go forward, that acquisition, then there should be some pretty definite conditions placed on that.
Fairbanks Day celebrations were in full swing earlier this afternoon. The event took place at Pioneer Park around 2 weeks after it was originally scheduled but canceled due to rainy weather. Now, the early festivities were geared toward children. Kids could go on free train rides, get their faces painted, and participate in a number of other activities hosted by local nonprofits. There was also an Instagram scavenger hunt where participants took photos, learned different things about Pioneer Park, and could even win some prizes. The evening features a battle of the bands and auto show in the Gold Rush Town area. The celebration is used to spread the word about upcoming community events. Pioneer Park worker Talon Hobbs, who was running the tug of war, says the free event does a good job at bringing the community together.
So essentially we're running the kids games, just a nice way to give back to the community for everything that it's done for the park and all the support. So we're just playing some tug of war and helping the kids have fun. The essence of Fairbanks Day is essentially family. This is a great chance for people to get out and experience the great sun and warmth that Fairbanks has to offer.
3 military anniversaries were observed with a community event at Fort Wainwright last weekend. Ryan Grimes has details now in this week's military report.
Fort Wainwright's gates were open to civilians going to the 50, 75, 240 celebration event on post. It's been 50 years since the veterans of Vietnam flew into battle. On Saturday, Army officials and interior citizens stood in honor for a parade of Vietnam vets at Ladd Army Airfield.
A lot of tough memories there, but mostly the idea of being able to fix an aircraft and get it back in the air or destroy it or get the crew out of it. But perhaps the big message is that the protesters and so forth that made our lives hell when we came back, a lot of them have grown up since and have been much more charitable, and we appreciate them coming out too.
To commemorate the Ladd Army Airfield's 75th birthday, military helicopters, planes, and fighter jets were on display to the public. Ladd Airfield was significant for aviation in Alaska. It was used by both Army and Air Force personnel before Eielson Air Force Base was built.
We became very integral in supporting World War II, and we became really integral in the war effort when the Lend-Lease operation began, and over 7,000 airplanes were ferried up from the lower 48 to be transferred to Soviet hands to go to the war front.
To celebrate the Army's 240th birthday, historical booths about the Army, family games, and food stands were placed at the heart of Fort Wainwright for people to see and enjoy.
We used to be up here in 94 through 97, so we're just back on base to pay tribute to the soldiers.
Today our Army is a strategic land power of the joint force, called upon to fight and win against our nation's adversaries. The willingness of our soldiers to place themselves in harm's way and to protect our nation's freedom is what makes us the premier all-volunteer force.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
All right, well, Joe Cook is up next with sports and has highlights from the Gold Panthers' first home game.
Also, the Alaska Nanook hockey program will have a reunion this weekend. All that and more with Joe after the break.
Welcome back Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here with your Wednesday Hump Day Sportscast. We start with the Alaska Gold Panthers baseball team. The local summer team had its first home game Tuesday night. The Gold Panthers took on the Chugach Chinooks in the first game of a 3-game series. Alaska was down 0-1 but ripped off 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Brian Lees, he brought in 2 Panthers with his single. Then Monroe's Scooter Bynum, he finds a hole and brings in Rene Martinez. The Panthers had a 4-1 lead and a 5-2 advantage after 3 innings. However, Chugach was back in business and they tied it up 5-5 in the top of the 7th. The Panthers have 5 pitchers and the team, they kind of ran out of gas down the stretch. Chugach got a number of runs from walks and bases loaded situations. And Chugach's Caden Owens of Oral Roberts, he hit the go-ahead RBI to give the Chinooks the lead for good in that 7th inning. He was 3 for 3 with 2 ribbies and a run scored. Mike Staudinger was 4 for 5 with 2 ribbies for Chugach as well. The Chinooks spoiled Alaska's first home game with a 9-5 win.
I was just looking for a fastball to hit. Took a swing at a changeup that was out of the zone. Just looking for fastballs. That's it. We just started to take care of the little things, take advantage of fastballs in the strike zone early in the count, and took advantage of that, and it paid off for us. It's awesome. It's a fantastic atmosphere, beautiful weather, so can't ask for anything more than that.
It's a milestone year for the Alaska Nanook hockey program, and they're celebrating with the reunion. 2015 marks the 35th anniversary of Alaska hockey in the modern era. The program started back in 1925, but 1980 was the year Alaska became an intercollegiate sport at the Division II level under Rick Schaefer. The reunion kicks off on Thursday night with a ride on the Riverboat Discovery at 7 o'clock. Friday, there will be a Midnight Sun golf outing at the Fairbanks Golf Course at 8 p.m. And then Saturday at 11 o'clock, there will be a locker room tour and luncheon at the Carlson Center. Former coaches will be speaking there as well. Then Saturday night will be a Midnight Sun Run barbecue. The last reunion of this scale was back in 2005. This weekend will again mark a special time for Nanook Nation.
The idea was to bring people up Solstice weekend. It's unique for Alaska, a lot of unique events. And so we've got 60 to 70 former players, coaches, staff members, and trainers and whatnot coming back just to see old friends and teammates and celebrate. Some of them we haven't had any contact for 30, 40 years, and overall the response has been very good. People excited to come back. It's been very satisfying to see the outpouring of excitement by a lot of the people that want to come back to Fairbanks. So it's going to be a pretty neat event.
This story comes courtesy of the KTVF Broadcast Academy. Students interested in television broadcasting getting some hands-on experience this week. The Midnight Sun Run bib pickup is a new location this year. Team Cutters will be hosting every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. until Friday. And if you have already registered, you can pick up your bib at Team Cutters. If you want to join the race, you can register in person. You can pick up bibs and shirts for multiple people as well. So far, almost 2,000 people have signed up, and 4 different countries will be represented this year. You can also register at the Patty Center on race day or online at midnightsunrun.net. Race director Susan Kramer says they're working under a white tent that will take up the entire parking lot of Team Cutters.
The church next to Team Cutters has said that folks can park over there. So the Team Cutters parking lot's going to be blocked. So they'll see where they'll have arrows pointing them to where they can park. The biggest thing is to remember, if you register online over the next 3 days, don't go pick up your bib until the next day because we need to process it and get your bib ready.
After 6 games of the NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors are the new NBA champions. Golden State, they wrapped up the series on Tuesday night with a 105-97 win in Cleveland. There were a lot of historical marks in this final series. Golden State won their first NBA title since 1975, and it's their 4th title as a franchise. Cleveland will have to wait another year to end their title drought. LeBron James became the first player in NBA history to lead both finals teams in points, rebounds, and assists. Finals MVP Golden State's Andre Iguodala scored 25 points in Game 6. It's the most in a game for him since 2013. Head coach Steve Kerr, he won the title in his rookie season. The last coach to do that was Pat Riley in 1982. Steph Curry is the first player in league history to defeat every other member of the All-NBA first team on the way to winning a title. The Warriors won 83 total games, second to only the 1996 Chicago Bulls. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into a Fbx Evening News weather edition for Wednesday night. Mike Schultz with you once again. And the hot temperatures have returned like we were saying they were going to be yesterday. And going to be even hotter tomorrow. In fact, we could be looking at 86 degrees tomorrow, or actually on Friday, 85 tomorrow. What difference does a degree make, right? Anyway, the bottom line is it's going to be hot all the way through the weekend and dry, and of course that means fire dangers. Our photograph tonight sent in by Josh Loudermilk, and got a very nice shot of the Nenana Valley, if there is one like that. I mean, shooting down, you can see the picture there. Very nice photograph from Josh, and as always, if you have a photo to share, photos at ktvf11.com. and we will share it with the rest of the audience. Your numbers look like this. Currently 79 degrees, that's our high so far. I would not be surprised to see it go to about 82 or 83 because we get the best time for heating right around 7 to 7:30. The low last night, 49, record high 90, that was set in 1948, a record low of 37 in 1954. Now your sunrise and sunset, not moving a whole lot because we're getting closer to that longest day of the year. 21 hours and 45 minutes of daylight, a gain of 2 minutes from yesterday. On the satellite and radar, here's what it looks like. And again, not too much to look at because everything is moving from the north. Just a few bands of clouds here and there, but no real precipitation anywhere being reported. Not even any thunderstorm activity, so that's good news for the fire situation. What else is going on across the rest of the state as far as temperatures go? Still pretty cool around the Juneau area. They are getting some thunderstorms around the Ketchikan area, way down to the south. And the 60 degrees for the high there. Around the Anchorage Bowl, there is some smoke moving in. 78 degrees for their high. Kodiak only 52. Also 52 degrees at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, temperatures at 81 degrees at Bethel compared to 52 degrees at Nome. But 50 degrees at Barrow, that's pretty warm for them. Not a bad day in Fort Yukon, 73 there. Here's what's going on across the lower 48. As you can see here, temperatures have warmed up extremely nice over Seattle, 76 degrees. 114 degrees in Phoenix. How about that? Not too far away, Las Vegas, 108 degrees. Salt Lake City, 94 degrees. And 82 in Denver. More thunderstorms across Texas. Again, remnants of that was once Tropical Storm Bill. Not too bad, Minneapolis, 79. Then as you move further to the east, you get once again into the little cloud covered. The temperature is not nearly as bad in D.C., 84 degrees compared to 96 yesterday, 80 degrees in St. Louis and Miami at 90 degrees. On the satellite and radar, boy, you can really see the circulation on that tropical storm, what was once a tropical storm, still pulling in lots of moisture, a lot of rainfall from Dallas, moving on rapidly to the east, while out to the west, just the opposite. Not a whole lot of cloudiness there, so the warm temperatures to prevail. In fact, near record heat is expected all the way through over much of the western and southwestern portions of the country in the teens, 100 and teens that is, over many areas. And as far as the overall jet stream, again, west to east, not a whole lot going on. Some thunderstorm activity over the deep south, but still very warm and hot out to the west. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like on the northern sections. Widespread fog in Barrow. Sunny and warm at Fort Yukon, but not so warm for Nome. Still only 66 degrees there. Over the interior, we're looking at sunshine and hot temperatures for Fairbanks and Healy, with still some smoke possible at Delta Junction. There are some fires around the area. Over southeast Alaska, we're looking at isolated showers in Juneau and mostly cloudy skies for Ketchikan. Well, out to the southwest, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with patchy fog in Cold Bay, sunshine for Kodiak and also at Bethel. And down around the Anchorage Bowl, not too bad. In fact, sunny skies for Anchorage, mostly sunny skies for Valdez and Homer. And once again, an update on our latest red flag warning. It's been extended through midnight tomorrow night. Hot temperatures and low humidity will continue into the weekend, so use caution as the fire danger is extremely high. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 56 degrees, clear skies, and very mild temperatures. Tomorrow's forecast, there it is, 85 degrees, sunny, dry, and very warm. And the 5-day outlook, hotter temperatures on Friday, and then another hot day on Saturday, slightly cooling down by next Monday and Tuesday. But overnight lows will also be very warm. The hottest we've seen this year, 60 degrees for the overnight lows. Not looking for any precipitation whatsoever. And that means that the midnight sun activities will be really nice for this weekend. In fact, we're looking at, for the runners, they might be looking at a lot of drinks to take care of to keep them hydrated, that's for sure.
I don't think Barrow's going to be 461 degrees tomorrow.
Was it 461 degrees today?
That's second night.
Wow, I think there's something wrong with that computer.
All right, we'll
Hear
get
that?
it
It's really
So
hot out there.
everybody in Barrow, do not worry. It will not be 461 degrees.
I hope not. Nope. That'll melt all the ice.
Okay,
That's
thanks.
what you call global warming.
Yes, we will fix it for 11.
Oh, yeah.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.